$1 million to on the spot start talking about a certain topic with no breaks for 30 minutes, what would you start talking about?
How suicide prevention has been branded as a personal problem to keep us from seeing it as a structural one. This is the same thing that's happened with climate change, where we were sold this idea that switching from plastic to paper straws and taking fewer showers would save the planet. And now we obviously know that that's not true, but it was branded that way strategically to make this really big issue seem like a personal responsibility. And something similar has happened with suicide prevention, where suicidality has been labeled as a personal flaw, and so preventing that looks like just sharing crisis lines and telling people to reach out for help and fix themselves. And of course, like, everybody plays a role in their own recovery, but what branding something this way actually does is place the entire burden of getting better on a person who is currently in a lot of pain or dealing with a lot of hardship. It doesn't do anything to address the structural or material reasons they might have reached that point, and it certainly doesn't do anything to prevent people in the future from reaching that point. True suicide prevention is super comprehensive. It's this like web or network of strategies and programs that are all interconnected and working with one another. And the goal of all of these is to reach people who are existing at all points on the spectrum of suicidality, as well as those who are at risk but not yet suicidal. There are so many things that are suicide prevention strategies and that fall into that web of strategies that people never think of in that way, like raising the minimum wage and funding harm reduction clinics and providing lump sum payments to unhoused individuals to get them off the street, safe storage of firearms and medications at home, funding mobile crisis teams so that law enforcement are not the first responders to a mental health crisis, social workers are. These are all really great preventative measures, but they haven't been branded that way, so we don't think of them that way. And that's on purpose because they require time and money and resources. So instead, we spend these awareness days and weeks and months just throwing around the same crisis lines and phrases, and telling people like, hey, you matter, go fix yourself. I think suicide prevention and really like all mental health advocacy causes will continue to feel super hollow and intangible until we start getting really specific about things. We can share 988 a million times over, but for most suicidal people, a crisis line is at best a band-aid during a super emotional moment. It's not a cure, it's not treatment,